morning. So it's Friday the 24th of April. Downtown Ezhou, outside one of the local shopping centres. People getting their temperatures checked. Not much going on. It's pretty quiet. People sort of stay indoors if they can. You know, everyone's still taking precautions. Yeah, so hit up the Chinese government yesterday for a little bit longer time again, and yeah, they've been thinking about it and trying to sort it out, but that's it. I have to be out of here at the beginning of June, so yeah, that's the countdown, and totally given up on the Australian government. They've done nothing for me. Useless. Anyway, that's life, and so I'll make the most of the last month and a half in China, and today I'll put a bit of a compilation together off their social media and show you what sort of news is going on over here and what you guys probably don't see. Anyway, it's a nice day, and yeah, we'll see what's going on. So one of my lovely new friends has just sent me a coffee machine from Shanghai. I'm so happy. I can't wait to open this and make myself a decent coffee. Thank you very much, Andrea. I much appreciate this. Oh wow, not just coffee, Tim Tams, chewy caramel Tim Tams, and some decent Aussie salt. Oh, this lady knows the way to a man's heart. And look at all this milk. Oh, Devondale milk, piles of coffee. Oh, this is like Christmas. This is just like that feeling you have when you're a little kid and you open your Christmas presents. So Andrea, I just wondered what these were, and I said to my missus, what are these? And she goes, that's cat food. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. All right, I will make sure I get this out and deliver this to all the nice cats at home. I've actually got babies living in the flat next door, so they're gonna love this. Good old Devondale pure skimmed milk from Australia. Just what the coffee machine needs. Look at that, a beautiful, nice coffee machine from Audi. And all the coffee that I can possibly drink. Thank you so much. I so appreciate this. I can't wait to fire it up. Thanks, Andrea. Thank you so much for this. I so appreciate it. And no more going to that that dodgy coffee shop anymore. I'll be able to make my own. Sweet. Can't wait. I'm gonna fire it up. So the old Nest Cafe's been good over the last few months, but I'm sorry guys, you've been upgraded to the Expressi range, and I've even got a range from number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh God, where am I going to start? Oh, awesome. Okay, here we go folks. Push the button and we're off. We're getting coffee, fresh coffee in China. Oh, look at that, it's covered out. The coffee cup's not really a coffee cup, but they don't really drink coffee in China, so that'll have to do. Anyway, back to the coffee machine. It's pumping. Oh yeah, I can taste it, I can smell it. Oh, thanks Andrea. I'm going to be running around like a blue ass fly for the next week. Oh yeah, yes. There's a cup of coffee. Say thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Tell me what it tastes like. The skim milk's a bit out there, but
Oh, so nice. Better do I mean the shop buy this coffee.
yeah, she's not into the Nest Cafe. That's crap, that stuff.
That's coffee nice.
This is the one. Oh yeah. It's a beautiful day down the Yangtze today. Some of the iron ore ships going back down to Shanghai, which is pretty well on the coast at the end of the river. Get reloaded with more iron ore and come back up here. Yeah. So the roses have come out in the park. Check the colour of this one.
And from this, I think lies maybe died.
So they're building a new airport between here and Wuhan, and this road here they're just building. They started a few months ago, and it's going to go all the way to the new airport. It's going to be our quick route, and yeah, this is all new park. It's just starting to open up. There's the temple up on top of the hill there. So I was wondering why the flowers didn't smell so good. I was thinking, wow, they smell that great. And I realised I had my mask on. So they must work pretty good if you can't smell the flowers through them. Took my mask off and wow, it did smell nice. Yeah, they don't muck around in China when they want to build a park. Get into it. Wasn't here last time I've been here. You should smell these flowers. Bloody strong as. They're quite pretty. Oh, a garden thief's delight around here. Oh, the smell of fresh mowed grass. Awesome. So the joint's got like peach trees and plum trees everywhere. Just noticed. The little gardening ladies. I think the council should splurge and buy him a ride on. The road's going to go through there and connect up to a bridge over there and go off to the airport just over there in Wuhan somewhere. An abandoned boat. So there's our little bit of adventuring today. We found something new. I'm a few kilometres away from where we live, but we've been in lockdown for a long time, and they're obviously working here while everyone else was in lockdown. So yeah. Done something constructive today.
Clear, 300, short, charging. I'm sure you're for every 3 seconds. So continue CPR.
It's been a nightmare. We have a volume of sick people like you can't believe. In one shift, I pronounced 6 people dead. I've been in this business for over 20 years, and to a person, no one has ever seen anything like this.
The American medical system continues to perform beyond our highest expectations, reminding us that the United States is blessed with the most advanced healthcare and the most skilled healthcare workers anywhere on the planet. Pretty sure we're at the top of the hill, and now we're going downward. In some cases, we've already started that process.
Chinese researchers have shown how this virus spreads, and I just want to put up for our viewers. I just want to put up for our viewers. This is a restaurant.
Anderson, you are tough.
No, I'm not
We're
talking.
back
just
to China. This isn't China.
Yeah.
This is Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wow. Okay, that's really ignorant. This is a restaurant, and the yellow circle. That's an ignorant statement. That's a restaurant, and yes, it's in China, but there are human beings too. That yellow is a person who is asymptomatic and infected, and all those other red circles are other diners who that one diner passed the virus to. All those other people became infected in a restaurant that had air conditioning, and they believe it was the air conditioning which helped the virus spread to all those other people.
You remember the Legionnaire's disease in 1976 in Philadelphia came all through the air conditioning. You don't remember because you're younger.
I do remember.
Typhoid Mary, who I think passed away, well, anyway, during the late 30s, rode the buses, was a cook, and she was asymptomatic, and she spreaded a fear of getting typhoid, and she never showed a sign of it. And she lived most of her life quarantined. The reality was, I think 58 people passed away from typhoid. And so we're aware of this. We learned from history. Right. We've had Ebola. We've had the West Nile. We've had polio. We've had these horrific,
none of those were as
painful.
Infectious in Las Vegas. I mean, you didn't have people with Ebola on a casino floor.
If the president does end up saying anything true, you can run it as tape. But if he keeps lying like he has been every day on stuff this important, we should, all of us, should stop broadcasting it. Honestly, it's going to cost lives.
But sadly, we've gone long enough without a disease here in the United States that even though we had Ebola and Zika and SARS, not much happened. The countries that really were affected by SARS actually are the ones that have done the best in this epidemic because they acted when the number of cases were still very, very small.
There are many people who don't believe that China could win the war against the virus. They listed the numbers in different countries, and they said, hey, the US and the Europe has a much more developed medical systems, but China's number is much lower than ours, so it couldn't be real. Believe it or not, this is real. You can come to China and take a visit. The secret is actually hidden in the name of China. Care. We care every life, whether it's old or young, rich or poor. We put people's right to live in the first priority. We provide free test, free treatment, and we save every life at all costs. Health. When the virus broke out, the medical teams and supplies from all parts of the country were sent to Wuhan, to Hubei, and many doctors and nurses volunteered to go to the epicenter. Immediate. We responded immediately after the breakout. We built a hospital of 1,000 beds within 10 days, and all the medical teams took less than 24 hours on average to arrive in Wuhan. New technology. During the pandemic, we have developed and applied many new technologies like 5G, AI, big data, and drone. From the big cities to the small villages, the people were all connected, and they could receive the first-hand information about the virus. Last but not the least, all together. The COVID-19 is a serious challenge we've never met, but we choose to stay together, fight together, and finally win together. So that is our secret. Care, health, immediate, new technology, and all together. I believe if you can do that, you can also defeat the virus.
This news that the first known death 3 weeks earlier than previously thought from community spread, it is believed, which means I presume that this virus was here maybe mid-January?
You know, I think for some time we have thought that the first patient that we diagnosed in the United States, did we just happen to catch the very first patient? We were looking for specific people who had traveled back from China at that point or had known exposure to people with coronavirus. But the idea that this was a virus, that it was already spreading, if you put up that timeline again and say February 6th and February 17th, I believe, with these patients now, when they went back and looked, they were suspicious. Maybe they were thought to have had the flu before.
About the coronavirus?
There's someone from my town that went to a father-daughter dance and got a bunch of other people sick.
What were they sick with?
The coronavirus. They literally have it.
Okay, get away from us. Get away. No, seriously, go. Go away.
All right.
Go!
In China, there are 40,000 doctors, nurses, and respiratory technicians went from all over China to Wuhan and helped the Wuhan doctors fight the virus. There's no more virus in Wuhan. Those doctors have all gone home. There have been victory parades for them, gratitude, flowers, and everything. They're heroes. They have skills in fighting COVID-19. Why we couldn't hire for our pandemic a lot of those doctors, nurses, respiratory technicians. I think it's not a good idea to keep insulting China and baiting them, because if you look far enough down the road, President Trump may have to go to them with his hat in his hand, because we're going to be able to design a great vaccine, but I don't know if we're going to be able to run our vaccine plants.
It's sorry to say this, but it's a national scandal. We shouldn't be in this position. We knew in the last week of January that this was coming. The message from China was absolutely clear that a new virus with pandemic potential was...
I think at the federal level, it's a total disaster. If the experience that China, was going through had been taken seriously, as had been cautioned by many in the government could have prepared in advance. They could have produced, or have produced more face masks, ventilators, and the like, and have a stockpile on hand. They could have made preparations for ICU units when they became necessary. But no, the government, Trump and his administration sat on their hands, whistling a happy tune, basically gloating over the fact that China was, faced with this dire situation, and just basically saying, well, it's not going to happen here. We don't have anything to worry about. It's all under control. Well, obviously, we see that it wasn't, and now the court flat-footed without having done the necessary preparations. They had 2 months to prepare, more than enough time to get things lined up. The Chinese government was very forthcoming. They told, the World Health Organization immediately upon, identifying the virus. So it's, of course, Trump himself commended China on its transparency and the like early on. Now, as we all know, he's made a 180-degree turn. So it's just ridiculous, and I hope the American people can see through his duplicitous, actions and his attempt to deflect from his own failings by targeting China once again. It's really discouraging, and I just hope that the American people can see through his designs in that regard. I spent many, many years in China, going back and forth in the 1980s and 90s, and more recently I visited on a number of occasions. And I know as a fact, that what Americans know about China does not reflect reality. It's a total fiction. But they have no other source of information. The American press just presents a totally distorted picture of China. They are always harping on whatever problems crop up, whatever difficulties there might be, as if we don't have our own. China is a great scapegoat. It's a great target, to distract people from the failings of our own government and its leadership. And that's what Trump is trying to do, because it's therefore all to see how abysmally we have responded to the challenge of this virus. This could go on throughout the spring and summer. China was able to overcome it in 2 months and basically retain its economic viability so that it can swiftly recover. Well, we don't have the institutional wherewithal to do what China did. We don't have the means to subsidize the entire American people. What's going to happen?